the undercurrents, expose the intrigues, and break down the narratives that define our democracy. Dr. Tony Olisa Mbeki delivering razor-sharp analysis, and Ebuka Franklin and Chisom on the question wheel, driving the conversation. We bring you the most compelling discussions on governance, policies, and power plays. Stay informed, stay engaged, stay ahead. The Polity, every weekdays at 9:15 a.m. Exclusive on Udala 104.7 FM Onitsha.
Okay, of course, it's Christmas Day, and we are glad to have you join us on the Polity on Udala Radio 104.7 FM Onitsha. In case you didn't know, we are transmitting from Onitsha, the commercial nerve center of Anambra State. That is where we transmit and get to different places and get to your different homes. Like we said, it's always a pleasure to know that you are always there for us. And we are saying Merry Christmas to every one of you who keeps following us and listening to us. We are glad that all of us are alive today to witness 2025 Christmas. My name is Franklin and I'm saying welcome to the Polity Christmas Day edition, Thursday, December 25th, 2025. Lots of development apart from the Christmas festivity in the air. Of course, there are other news stories developing from different parts of the world. Yes, somebody can say that government has been shut down because today is public holiday in Nigeria, and likewise tomorrow. The federal government declared the 2 days public holiday for us to celebrate Christmas. And of course, so everybody is going to be home today just to mark this very day. But like we do say, the press does not go to bed because the press must surely report what happens in different parts of Nigeria. And here in Onitsha, Anambra State, that this very story about a market leader who escaped death by the whiskers because some persons launched an attack on him. In an effort trying or in an attempt to arrest some persons who allegedly disrupted some activities in the market, and some persons described as thugs, how to unleash mayhem on him, is captured by about 4 different newspapers. I've seen that story on Vanguard newspaper, likewise on Daily Post and on Sun newspaper. Away from that, in Anambra State, of course, if you go to Borno State, there was a bomb blast in Borno State yesterday, and as we speak now, 5 persons have been confirmed killed in that very bomb blast. It happened in a mosque, and about 35 persons were confirmed to have been injured from that very development. If you go to Lagos State, there was a fire incident in Lagos State. One particular building, 25-story building, was razed by fire. Not all of it, but part of it was actually affected by fire. And from what we have this very morning, 12 persons have been confirmed affected, not killed, but affected by the fire that happened in that very place. And of course, in Anambra State, the governor of Anambra State has issued a Christmas goodwill message to people of Anambra State, asking them to celebrate in phone and in responsibility. Then at the federal level, we have also seen the Christmas message coming from Mr. President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, assuring Nigerians that Nigeria is for everybody. And he said, on no account should anybody be molested or victimized on account of his religious inclination. So, by the time we get into the headlines, of course, we're going to analyze proper what the message portends for Nigeria, especially in the wake of the declaration which was made by President Donald Trump of United States. So, all these and more you're going to hear by the time the program progresses. Once more, my name is Franklin. Merry Christmas, and also Merry Christmas to in-house analyst here, Tony Olisa Mbeki. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning, Franklin. Good morning. Merry Christmas to you. And good morning, Nigerians. Good morning, the good people of Southeast. Good morning, in Anambra. Good morning, in Onitsha, Donido. Good morning, in Dosimoho. Good morning, everyone. It's another Christmas, 25th December 2025. We thank God Almighty to being alive to witness yet this epochal moment in Christendom. The reason salvation came, because without Christmas there will never be Easter. So you find out that there will be birth before the redemption of mankind. So it was purely an act of God, and we thank God for being alive. There were many of our brothers and sisters who started the year with us, but today there are no more, including even my biological sister. So we also remember them in this period. We remember our country, Nigeria, our state, and also those who are passing through hardship, those who are in one agony or the other. Christmas brings time, immemorable love, peace, unity, togetherness. Is a time to build that communal living, giving, showing acts of kindness. That's exactly what Christmas represents. It is a moment, it is a time to show love to someone, to your neighbor, to the less privileged, to those who do not have. We thank God Almighty for making it possible for us. And as usual, we are here to look at different national development, and while we merry, let us also remember the poor in our midst. It's important, and we also appreciate those who have seen that the poor get something to go or to share with. And it's also important that we must also be cautious and also be security conscious. We must show that vigilance at all time to ensure that we have a seamless Christmas. We also appreciate the state government and other stakeholders for what they have been doing. In fact, Anambra State is a beehive of activity everywhere. Yesterday, if you go to places, events, a lot going on. We thank everyone for the role, for the impact, and then do Mekome, please. This is not time. Yeah, I think this is a time to preach conversion, repentance from whatever evil you are doing. And then it's also important for us to look at how to build a peaceful nation, a peaceful society, a peaceful families is important. You're welcome.
Tony, so this very morning I woke up, I said, so it's Christmas finally, 2025 Christmas is finally, and after today and tomorrow, all those things people have been preparing for over 1 year, it will just fizzle out, and then we'll begin again to plan for January. And, that tells you what festivity could be like. You get it takes the whole time to prepare for it, and once it dawns on you, in a matter of hours it's gone, and then you begin to make another plan for the next year. Okay, just like you said, of course, we wish everybody Merry Christmas, and hoping that we have to celebrate the Christmas in love and in sacrifice, just like Jesus Christ, whom we are celebrating, exemplified when he came to this very world. Okay, so we have a four newspapers for us to look at this very morning: Vanguard, This Day, The Guardian, and the Punch newspapers. We're going to look at the headline before we get into analysis. But before we do that, don't forget we are always live on our Facebook page, Data Radio 104.7 FM. That's who we are on Facebook. You can get to the page, drop your comments, and at the same time share that very video. On our YouTube channel and on Instagram, we are Udala Radio. Get on those platforms, get interactive, and I bet you that all opinions you have, they are going to be reflected and acknowledged on this very platform. Okay, so let's go to the paper this very morning. I'll begin with the headlines we have on Vanguard newspaper. The banner headline here has a kicker that says, Gazette Furori, Tinubu can't stop tax law, says Oyedele, lawyers disagree. The story is on page 5. It has riders don't insist on January 1st implementation. Ndume begs president. Reps committee promises speedy probe. It's a bad precedent. Criminal. Yaga Africa. NLC calls for rejection of distorted laws. And I must say that many stakeholders are joining this very call on the need to probe to know actually if there is a difference between the gazetted laws and the ones passed by the National Assembly. Now we have seen Yaga Africa also joining, likewise NLC, and yesterday Ndume, who has been vocal, also spoke asking the president that he should postpone the implementation to allow good time for thorough probe to know what actually happened, if there's any element of truth in what the Suki raised on the floor of the National Assembly. Another headline says FG record 2.6 trillion naira fiscal deficit in in second quarter of 2025. The story is on page 19. On page 15, you see a story that says a highway of fear, staying safe during festive season travels. Or rather, highways of fear, staying safe during festive season travels. That's the report you see on page 15 of Vanguard newspaper. Can urges tight security at churches. The story is on page 8. And I think Can is also showing the way of the AIG Zone 9, who has asked that, or who has directed that there should be adequate security provided in states like Imo, Abia, and Co., who are under Zone 9 of the Nigerian Police Force. Then this one says, Christmas, I remain committed to religious freedom. Tinubu, the story is on page 8. This was taken from his Christmas goodwill message to Nigerians. Another headline says, ADC offers credible path out of Nigeria's woes. David Mark, check page 14. Page 34 of Vanguard newspaper. 5 killed, 35 injured as suicide bomber hits Maiduguri mosque. The story is on page 6. Beware of Tunisia, Ayebwemi warns Eagles. That's a sports column on page 38. Of course, Nigeria is going to play Tunisia in the second Group C match. Of course, the one they played against Tanzania, Nigeria won 2-1, and Tunisia won Uganda by 3 goals. So next is going to be Tunisia and then Nigeria. And these are the stories we have on the front page of Vanguard newspaper. We have to cross over to this day to see the headlines. This one says, Tinubu mourns Nigeria's ex-permanent representative to the UN, Arthur Mbanefo. The story is on page 10. I learned he's from Onitsha. Here. Of course, may he so rest in peace. NEU, PRC, NDIC March tops on ICPC's 2025 Integrity Report. NMPC, FCSC at bottom. The story is on page 38 of this newspaper. Another story says, Tinubu at Christmas, I'm committed to religious freedom, security of all Nigerians. The story has riders that include it reiterates resolve to safeguard national unity, stability. Jonathan Atiku urge hope, unity, resilience. Mark asks for vigilance, sacrifice, tolerance. Governors can northern elders urge harmony. CDS celebrates troops' courage, discipline. Olukoyede preaches values of love, others too. These are the writers on that very story on the front page of this newspaper. And the headline you can see here says, Petroleum Ministry moves to fully automate activities, begin paperless interface. You see that on page 38 of this newspaper. Okay, so we leave this day now to move over to the next paper, which is the Guardian newspaper. We have a headline here that says PDP leaders move to reconcile factions, set up caretaker committee. The story is on page 3. Can the two factions be reconciled? Because at this point in time, they have divergent and a contradictory interests. People who are led by Makinde and those who are led by Wike, they are like two parallel lines that cannot meet. So I'm just wondering if this committee will be able to achieve anything on this very onerous task given to it. Tinubu sets up APC committee to heal rifts, mobilize party ahead of 2027. The story is on page 3. Atiku accuses Tinubu of defying Supreme Court judgment on local government autonomy. The story is on page 7. Another headline on the front page of The Guardian says power crisis lingers into Christmas as output averages 3,000 megawatts. The story is on page 6, and I must say that many people have been affected because some areas that used to enjoy at least 18 hours of power supply now enjoys about 7 hours or 8 because power generation has dropped, and allocation going to these schools has also allocations going to these schools have also dropped. Um, 2 days ago, it was the Minister of Power trying to assure us that efforts were being made to remedy what the problem was, and he said that within 48 hours that the issues will be resolved. But as it stands now, 24 hours have passed, so we're waiting for the next 24 hours to see whether we're going to have improvement in power supply in Nigeria. Shock as Kano Assembly loses 2 members within minutes. The story is on page 29 of Ghana newspaper. Christmas Eve tragedy. Many fear dead as IED explodes in Brunei Mosque. Check page 2. ASU FG reach truce as union accepts 40% pay increase. The story is on page 4. Growing opposition threatens January implementation of tax laws. Check page 6. And the last headline we have on the front page of Guardian says MDA may forfeit funds over non-compliance with financial reporting rules. The story is on page 15 of a Guardian newspaper. We have to look at the last newspaper we have this very morning, which is the Punch newspaper, before we get into analysis. And the banner headline says Christmas messages, Tinubu governors preach unity, NLC rejects unfair taxation. The story is on pages 2 and 7. It has a rider, Khan urges security consciousness, Kuka decries killings, Nigerians lament despite food price crash. LP crisis, Abure wants OT against parallel convention. The story is on page 14. Of course, the OT faction is planning for a convention by next year. I think it's around, is it around January 15th or thereabouts? This one says corruption masking God's blessings on Nigeria. EFCC chair. The story is on page 14. 4 killed, 14 injured in Brunei Mosque bombing. The story is on page 2. Many fear trapped as fire got Lagos Plaza. The story is on page 4. Tax agency can't debit accounts without court order. Oyedele. The story is on page 40. He was on TV yesterday trying to explain things regarding the controversy twirling what was reported that there was a discrepancy between the gazetted copy of the Tax Reform Act and then the one that was passed by the National Assembly. And the headline says House begins tax law probe. Ndume pushes for suspension. MDA is underfunded by 15 trillion naira in 3 years. The story is on page 9. On page 13, you see story about NNPC. 12 others fail ICPC integrity test. And on page 14, Nigerian nurses practicing in the UK hit over 16,000. And you see the picture of the Minister of Health, Ali Pate, beside that very story. So these are the headlines we have this very morning. Next will be for us to do the analysis proper on the issues we have this very morning. Stay with us.
You're listening to The Polity. Get involved now. You're listening to The Polity. Get involved now.
Of course, thank you for staying tuned to the Radio 104.7 FM. You are listening to The Polity, a program of newspaper headlines review and analysis. My name is Franklin and I'm with Dr. Olisa Mbeki this morning on this very program, Christmas Day edition, December 25, 2025. And as it stands now, it's 9:35 a.m. and we have to begin the analysis. So, Tony, it's a Christmas day, and like we highlighted, everybody's in the mood. Even both Christians and non-Christians are in the mood for this very Christmas, because Christmas happens to be one holiday that is celebrated in 167 countries of the world. And in Nigeria here, whenever I talk about Christmas, even the pagans also join in celebrating Christmas, in as much as Christmas has been known as a Christian festivity. Over there in the northern part of Nigeria, Christmas is not that well known, but of course, when it's being celebrated, they recognize that something is happening. So for us Christians, when we talk about Christmas, what should people be thinking about? what should be running in their mind, and should they position in celebration of Christmas?
No, Christmas, just like we all know, is the most popular festivity in the world. There is no festivity that is more popular than Christmas. But truth be told, the essence of Christ's coming was for salvation, which is the Easter. But over the time, just like I said yesterday, Christians were more concentrated in Easter. Nobody was talking about the Christmas. And as I said earlier on, it's important that because of Invictus Souls, as I mentioned yesterday, that is the pagan festival, that is the what we call the winter solstice, where pagans do worship, for different Roman rites. Remember, during that period Christ was born, most part of the world were under Roman Empire. So, just like I said, the first recorded celebration of Christmas happened sometime December 25 in Rome around AD 336. That is 336. So you can imagine that was 4th century. So you can imagine that after Christ had died like 330 something years, that was the first celebration of the first Christmas during the reign of Emperor Constantine. And the church later fixed December 25th as the feast of Christ's nativity, not because the Bible gives the date, but as a theological celebration of the incarnation, God becoming man. And over time, this date spread across the Christian world and became known as Christmas. So, if you look at it from different angle, just like you mentioned, number of countries that this is actually celebrated, it tells you a lot about how popular the festivity itself is amongst even pagans, non-Christians. There is no festival in the world that is popular than Christmas. Even among Muslims, if you talk about Hindus, there's so many religions in the world. But this one comes out so clear. So, but just like I said, maybe I remember the Christmas, the coming of Christ, remember, was prophesied by several prophets. But I remember the most prominent of the prophets that made this prophecy was Prophet Isaiah, who foretold a virgin giving birth to a son called Emmanuel and described the suffering Messiah. I remember Micah, who specifically prophesied that the ruler of Israel would come from Bethlehem. That's Prophet Micah. I remember Prophet Daniel, who gave a prophetic timeline pointing to the period of the Messiah's appearance. Jeremiah also spoke of the new covenant. Moses, who foretold a prophet like himself, whom God would raise up. In fact, together, if you look at these prophecies, form the expectation that even the Magi and others we are watching for. So, just like I have always said, there is a period. Remember, before Christmas, the church moved into Advent. And Advent is a period of what? Expectation. It was a period of expectation. I remember yesterday I said, how did the church calculate December 25? Remember, December 25 is not recorded in the Bible. But then, theologically, the conception date was March 25. That was the period of conception by Virgin Mary. So it was easy to calculate if it has been established that conception date was March 25. If you remember the visit of angel to Virgin Mary. So 9 months from March 25, that takes you to December 25. But remember, just like I said, if not for Emperor Constantine, the Roman emperor that got converted into Christianity in the year 313 AD, that stop the persecution of Christians, that allowed Christians to worship freely, and in fact legalized Christianity in the entire Roman Empire, it wouldn't have given rise to the first Christmas that was celebrated in the year 336 AD. Remember, Christ was born in Bethlehem, and Bethlehem, as at that time, was in Judea. So, I have taken time to look at histories. In fact, these histories recorded in the Bible, they are supported by archaeological findings and revelations. I'm telling you. Because I was looking around, there was a day I was making a study about Herod. People don't know so much about Herod. We had Herod the Great, and remember, he had his sons. When he died, you had Herod Antipas, one of his sons, that took over the area of Galilee. So you also had Herod Archelaus. Remember, he was deposed because of his cruelty, incompetence, and failure to maintain order in Judea. He was in charge of Judea. Antipas was in charge of Galilee. These were sons of Herod the Great. So I remember even Archelaus, just like I said, the son of the Herod the Great, inherited Judea, Samaria, Idumea, as ethnarch, a rank below king. Remember, after Herod's death in 4 BC. But it was Herod Antipas that also ordered the killing of John the Baptist. The beheading of John the Baptist. He was one of the sons of Herod the Great. You know, the Herod the Great was so concerned when Christ was born. He was concerned that another king had come to take over his reign, and he was unsettled. And then you remember when the Magi came, visited him, and he told them, go and find out and report back to me, and even issued an order that every child born below 2 years be killed. Remember those stories. These stories are supported by archaeological findings, by the scientists. But that's true. So it tells you quite a lot. And we know that Christ has a mission to redeem mankind.
Okay, so now that we are on this very festivity, which was long awaited, and people are going to mark this very festivity in different ways. Of course, people have lined up family reunion. Some have scheduled town hall meetings. Some have scheduled meeting for the 8th grade, and so many other things. Some are going to have their weddings, traditional marriage, what have you. Plenty of things have been lined up for this very season. And there are people who have decided to do almsgiving to mark the season, whether before the camera or off the camera. But in the spirit of the Christmas, and where we have seen leaders dropping messages, in fact, from the north to the south, from Anambra to the farthest part of Nigeria, be it Borno State or Kano or Kebbi, the message has been the same. Let's unite, serve in the moment, pray for Nigeria, contribute to development, and what have you not. Now, this Christmas we're marking, we always have these messages every year. Now, do they make any difference? Do we actually get to internalize the message of Christmas and see how we can live out these things, whether as a follower or as a leader?
It is, for me, hypocritical for us or for anybody to celebrate Christmas without internalizing and putting into action and practice the message of Christmas. It is hypocritical. You can't be having merriment, drinking, whining, and at the same time you forgot the message. It's a message of reconciliation. God has come to reconcile man and God. That's number one. Have you been able to reconcile with your brother, with your sister, with your neighbor, with your family members? Have you been able to show acts of reconciliation? You don't wait for them to come and say, we apologize. It's not a case of who is right and wrong. It's a case of total reconciliation. That's one of the messages of Christmas. Message of love. It is through the act of love, God's love for mankind, that He sent His only begotten Son. How do you show love to those around you? How do you show empathy? How do you show support? It's one of the messages. So how do you put that to practice? How do you? It's not about merriment. You must put to action these core things. I love the fact that many families have lined out outings, these and that. It is a time for family reunion. That very thing that has been dividing families must be sorted out, must be taken care of. And every family should make it as a matter of urgency to sort out. Let this period not pass by and that divisive issues still remain. It is a period family across different divide must have themselves and see themselves as one, and they extend that to their neighbors, communities that are fighting. You see one community neighboring the other community over the issue of land. It's a time to call for peace and look at these issues and see how, because we are going to live on some of these things. You don't marry, you don't dance, you just go on and dance and do all those things. You forget the message. Reconciliation, peace, unity, love. And there are many ways you can show some of these things. So I say it is hypocritical for you to do the merriment alone, leaving the core message.
Okay, so let's look at the message of Mr. President, because Mr. President and other governors have admonished Nigerians to embrace peace. But what stood out in the message of Mr. President is that he reaffirmed his commitment to religious tolerance, declaring that no Nigerian will be made to suffer or die because of their religious beliefs, just as many Nigerians are reacting. Now, looking at what Mr. President said, in fact, he issued a statement which has been shared. And if you are going to go through that very statement which he issued, you will see that it's all filled with, trying to show that his government is committed to protecting the religious inclination of everyone. And maybe if I can take some time to read out some of the contents of this very message he put out. And he said, as we mark this year's Christmas, may the love of Christ and his message of grace, hope, peace, and goodwill to humanity abide with us. And he says, beyond the celebration and festivities of this season, Christmas reminds us to reflect on the significance of Jesus Christ's birth and his message of salvation as the Prince of Peace. On this holy day, I wish all Christians in Nigeria and around the world a Merry Christmas. I thank God for the opportunity to serve as the leader of our great country, and I pray for peace in our land, especially among individuals of different religious beliefs. As your president, I remain committed to doing everything within my power to enshrine religious freedom in Nigeria and to protect all people of different faiths from violence. As we celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, let us also reflect on the many contributions that Christians in Nigeria as followers of Christ have made and continue to make toward the progress of our country. The love of Christ and the message of the gospel have inspired many Christians to care for the vulnerable and less privileged in our society. We honor those who, following the example of Jesus, work tirelessly to promote peace, harmony, and tolerance in their communities. I just took an extract from what he said. And looking at the statement of Mr. President, saying that he was reaffirming his commitment to ensuring that people practice their religion without any fear of victimization or molestation. How do you look at this message and try to juxtapose it with what is on ground in Nigeria, and then see how we can extrapolate it to the threat which was given by President Donald Trump of America? Because this is the third Christmas message of Mr. President, and for the very first time, he dedicated most of the message on talking about religious tolerance, Tony.
Wonderful message from Mr. President. We have not been bereft of messages, good messages, wonderful Christmas preachings. If you go back memory lane, you can also pick the ones Mr. President, or the time Buhari was the president, also released. We saw his Christmas messages as a president. I'm talking about Muhammad Buhari. But the issue is walking the talk. He's walking the talk. Because if you look at the message of most leaders in Nigeria, the central theme of their messages, number one, is peace, love, unity. These are the central themes of their messages. They call for peace, They call for love and they call for unity and other things. But these are the standalone. But you ask yourself this question: how have they been promoting peace? Through their acts, through their conduct? Because if you divert public funds meant for development, meant for infrastructural development, you are not promoting peace. You are not. Because when people do not see those things they ought to have seen, there will be restiveness, there will be unrest, and before you know it, agitations. These agitations we are seeing from different quarters, these agitations are as a result of leaders not promoting peace through accountability. When you are not accountable to the people, you are not promoting peace. Somebody who promotes peace must do everything that will bring about peace. And that is one. And then when we talk about love, you don't weaponize poverty. Just during December period, you go and share 10 kg, 20 kg, 50 kg bags of rice. For you are showing love. That is not love. The greater love is using the public funds meant for public development for public good. I see our leaders, there are many of them are sharing rice this Christmas. 50 kg, 10 kg, people are clapping for them.
I even saw somebody sharing motorcycles.
These are people who have deprived these people that are giving this right, because for me it's a handout. They have deprived them of what belongs to them, what they ought to have given to them, what they ought to have ensured that it gets to them. And these people, they have been starved of development, they have been starved of a lot of things. And during Christmas, you give them handouts. For you, you are doing good. You are not doing any good. You are not doing any good. So when you talk about peace, love, as I said earlier on, because if you talk about love, love is very broad. That which you know is not right, and you go on to do it, you are not showing love. If you are asked to hold this for people and you put it inside their pocket, you are not showing love. If you decide to give them 1/3 of what you are holding for them, it is not love. If you try to either weaponize anything because of election, either poverty, impoverish the people, not being accountable to the people, abusing your office, showing class, showing level, acquiring wealth, embezzlement, corruption, that is not love. It is not love. So forget some of these messages. I have always said it's all about walking the talk. Have you seen that altruistic leader? Many of these politicians are concerned about the 2027. So we are going to witness an intense 2026 that will be so much submerged. Governance will may even return to almost 20% or 5%. You will see serious politicking. But my concern has always been these messages we see fly from one corner to the other. They are good, but the truth is behind these messages lie a lot of hidden truths.
If you look at Mr. President's speech, he said he is reaffirming his commitment. What does it mean is that there has been commitment somewhere. So do you think that he has shown that commitment to religious tolerance in Nigeria?
I think as a governor of Lagos State, he showed religious tolerance. But he may have such intention, but these intentions do not translate to reality. Where we see some people going after some Nigerians because of their faith, because of their belief, because of their religion. And as a president, if you cannot stop that, reaffirming whatever commitment becomes academic exercise. You may have intention as a president that you want every religion to thrive, to coexist. It's an intention. An intention not practicalized remains an intention. It remains an intention. So The only way to show that intention is to put in certain actions. Because he has the capacity to stop the killings in Nigeria. As a Nigerian, he has the capacity. But the point is, can he allow that capacity to override political will? Because why some of these things are happening is lack of political will. The capacity is there, but the political will becomes a stumbling block. Has he such political will? He has shown intention of religious freedom, but has he stopped religious killings? That's another question. So long as he hasn't been able to stop religious killing, it remains an intention.
Okay, at this point in time, let's go for commercial break. After this very break, we get into other talking point on this very program. Don't forget, you are listening to Udala Radio 104.7 FM. We are live on our Facebook page, Udala Radio 104.7 FM. So we are saying happy holiday and Merry Christmas to every one of you listening to us.
Udala Radio 104.7 FM. Seriously authentic.
When the city sleeps, the river remembers. When the drums call, Onitsha awakens. This December, the call grows louder as Udala Radio joins forces with the Golibe Festival 2025. From December 26th to New Year's Day, the heartbeat of the East comes alive. Music, laughter, art, culture, and the unstoppable joy of homecoming. This year promises more energy, more color, more connection. A festival for every proud son and daughter of Igbo land. Stay tuned to Udala Radio, your front row seat to the celebration that never fades. Golibe Festival 2025. Exclusive media support by Udala Radio. It's not just a festival, it's who we are.
Your investment is just one drop. On its own, it can only do so much. Now, imagine a million more drops. This is the power of First Asset Money Market Fund and First Asset Dollar Fund. They pool your money with others to create a powerful flow, giving you access to great earning opportunities. Call 0201-889-4444 now to start with 5,000 Naira, $100 or more. Let us build wealth together. The First Asset Money Market Fund and First Asset Dollar Fund are registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission Nigeria. Please read the prospectus and where in doubt, consult your investment advisor, stockbroker, fund or portfolio manager, accountant, banker, solicitor, or any other professional advisor for guidance before subscribing.
Christmas on set like concrete where them just pour. Udala Christmas raffle don't land for Golibe Festival. Hey! Just 1,000 Naira per ticket, and if you can enter our studio, make you shout your loved one's name live for radio.
I don't want them to say I love them well. My baby, I love you, die.
You want to know how you go take the part of this? It is simple. Just buy your ticket for Golibe Festival ground. Come our open studio and boom, your voice go to fly enter everybody radio. Better things there for ground where you feel win. 43-inch Hisense TV, refrigerator, aux fans, and plenty goodie bags. No dollar. This Udala Christmas raffle draw they happen on the 30th of December 2025. If you want grab your ticket sharp, make you call 0803-350-4206. 0803-350-4206. This Christmas, buy for yourself, buy for your people, because Udala Christmas raffle, everybody gets something inside. Supported by Nolin Ventures Limited, Onitsha. Hello, my brother.
Hello, bro, how far now?
Are they waiting this up now?
Now my tenants, they won't finish me. Omo, they don't pay rent. Wahala every day. Property where you get supposed to give me joy. You don't think wahala.
Yeah, my brother, you need to upgrade to A sharply.
Guy, another agent I beg I don't want. Agent that they are wahala na 5 and 6.
Sure, you never try Asoj Assets now. The best from in property management. See, since I carry my houses, give them. Nah, so I they enjoy peace of mind like this. Them they handle rent collection, tenant screening, maintenance, everything. I just they relax, they watch my investment, they grow like this.
You know me now. You mean I can avoid all these shit finish with tenants?
Now, correct. Asoj Assets go manage all your property worries. Them they professional, transparent, and reliable.
My friend, will you get out? Now see finish the cost of this nonsense. No worry. Asoj Assets they come. Una go soon hear out.
Why stress when Asoj Assets feel run am for you? For property management, tenant services, and real estate solutions, call Asoj Assets today on 0904 0422 240 or 0906 8205 058 or visit our office at number 8 Niger Drive, GRA Onitsha, Anambra State. Forget cho from house agents and trust the experts at Asoj Assets for your peace of mind. Asoj Assets, managing property, multiplying value.
Golibe, Onitsha, are you ready? The festival is here, and this year, Kate's Associated Industries Limited, manufacturers of Dubai antiperspirant deodorant, will show up, not just to turn up, but to turn up fresh. December 26th to 31st, Chuba Ikpeazu Stadium will be hot. Street Carnival, Dreamland for Children, masquerades, high life nights, full December cruise. But please, do not let enjoyment get you caught on fresh. Get Dubai antiperspirant deodorant, the roll-on that holds the body, holds groove, and hypes December. Golibe Festival, proudly supported by Kate's Associated Industries Limited.
Onitsha, we dey outside, This December 30th, na madness won't happen for East, Straight from the hood, the voice when they fake am, Jerry.
Within the top, Kasala don't bust. It's your boss, Jarek the Hustler, and on the 30th of December, Yona Baka for the Golibe Festival.
And you know go there alone, no. Dremo, Mayokun, Zorro, Berry Tiga, Aguero Banks, Ivado, Loina, Brown Joel, Rod Kelly, Dara, Dre Ice. One stage, one night, Onitsha go shade. Na Golibe Festival. For Chuba Ikpeazu Stadium, Onitsha, on Tuesday, 30th of December, from 6 p.m. sharp. Gate fee, not just 3,000 naira only. 3,000, no excuse. If you no get ticket, no wahala. Just show up early. And if you no feel reach venue, no fear. Udala Radio 104.7 FM. Go there live on ground. We go broadcast them live. So whether you there stadium or you there for house, you go feel the vibes. Onitsha, we there outside. Golibe Festival. Supported by Udala Radio. Seriously authentic.
Okay.
Merry Christmas from all of us.
Udala Radio
104.7.
Now hear the Christmas Day sweet pass. Let's go. Bells they ring for the street tonight. Children they dance on the Christmas light. Mama they cook jollof, aroma they rise. For they smile, joyfully miles. No know they for body love they warm. Afro be breathing, happiness don't come. Oh, from Onitsha city to every home. Now celebrate giant food is on. It's a Udala Christmas. Oh, everybody gather make we jollof. Up the tree, let it shine, love for the season, make we share, make we bind. From morning to night, Udala hold you tight. Now Christmas magic, pure delight. Udala, Christmas day sweet, oh Udala, feel the beat, oh. From all of us at Udala Radio.
Arọ ekeresimesi a wetala anyị aṅụle na obi ụtọ. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from all of us at Udala Radio 104.7 FM, the voice of the region.
Udala Radio 104.7 FM. Seriously authentic.
Okay, thank you for staying tuned to the Radio 104.7 FM. Of course, you are still listening to the Polity. Just to bring you this very message, of course, we've been telling you about the Golibe Festival, which is going to kick off tomorrow, being 26th day of December 2025. Just to let you know that the official media partner of this very festival is Udala Radio 104.7 FM, your favorite radio station. And this very Golibe Festival is going to take place over 7 days, from 26th to 31st December. And the question is, what are you waiting for? Have you made a decision to be part of this very event, which is going to shake Onitsha and beyond? Of course, there are highlights and activities that are going to be marked on this very day, December 26th to 31st. There's going to be live festival coverage from the venue. I'm talking about what Udala Radio is going to do. So our crew are going to be right there in the field to bring you a live feed from the Golibe Festival. So, of course, you are covered. Udala Radio is also going to have a branded tent activation over there. There's going to be on the spot audience engagement. So by the time you get to the venue, of course, look for Udala Radio because there is this very special arrangement that is going to give you a feeling of ecstasy over there. There's going to be a Christmas shout out and message dedications. Of course, there's going to be a raffle draws. There's going to be giveaway and fun interaction. What about music, culture, food, games, and daily entertainment? They are all there in, also friend, you can say, no, boku, as in boku is going to be there. So you have to be part of this very Golibe Festival. And for you as a listener or somebody who wants to attend this very Golibe Festival, by the time you get there, of course, visit the Udala Radio tent at the Golibe Festival venue and make your shout out to your loved ones, friends, families, well-wishers, business partners, and what have you not. Anybody want to say hi to, anybody want to convey happy wishes to, of course, we'll be there to facilitate that and make it happen. And guess what? It's not just for you to come there and make your shout out. Later, it's going to be played back on radio for us to continue to spread Christmas cheers across the airwaves. And I need you to also know that Udala Radio is proud to be the partner of this very Golibe Festival. That's why you're getting all this very information about this. This festival is a complete family experience. So if you have children, of course, do not worry. If you're thinking about where you are going to take them for them to have fun this very festivity, there's going to be children's arena at that very place or at the venue of Golibe Festival, where kids can, have all the plays they need. And you as a parent, what do? You can have your time to relax and enjoy yourself. There's going to be chill zone where you are going to enjoy good food, meet people, spend quality time with family and friends, have your chit chat, have fun, laugh out loud, and then have a good time. Then in the evening, there's going to be a change in vibe because special music night is going to light up the festival with amazing performances from artists who are well talented, the likes of Jerick. Oh boy, he's going to be there. And Drummer is going to be there, Mayor King, and so many other artists that are going to be there to treat you to good tunes. So why come with your dancing shoes. And I must tell you that from now till the end of the week, this is the sweetest part of it. The radio is going to give out free Golibe Festival tickets every day on Cherry Box. Cherry Box happens as from 12 noon, or rather 12:30. Then High Life Hardware from 4 p.m. You can tune in, listen, enjoy the shows, and then you have a chance to win your ticket without spending a dime, without spending any cover. Then when you get to the festival ground, please do not pass up by. How do I mean? Look for the radio. Look for the radio. I know dig the bomb. so that we'll be able to have a tete-a-tete. We'll be able to have a handshake, of course. We talk, laugh, and share things together. Working, make your shout out to your loved ones, your family members, and what have you not. And I've told you that it's not just for you to make it at that point in time, that there's going to be a later playback on radio. So if you're a child, if you're a family, what we are assuring you that we are going to have the best of fun at this global festival. So it's for us from here. We are wishing you Merry Christmas, telling you that it's going to be a memorable time if you are going to spend your time at the global festival with Udala Radio and all that. So we want to see you there. Come around. Let's have fun and make this very Christmas fun and memorable.
Udala Radio 104.7 FM.
You're listening to The Polity. Get involved now.
Okay. All right. Thank you for staying tuned to the Radio 104.7 FM. You're listening to The Polity, a program of newspaper headlines and analysis. My name is Franklin and Ebuka, and I'm with Dr. Olisa Mbeki. We are bringing you Christmas Day edition. From that very long commercial break, of course, let's get to other talking points we had this very morning. And next one is about the bomb blast that happened in a mosque in Borno State. And from what we know now, from report which has been put out by the police is saying that so far they've been able to confirm that 5 persons were killed in that very incident and about 35 persons were injured. I saw a video this very morning depicting what happened there. I saw bodies on the floor, I saw fire, and what have you not. And as it stands now, our reactions coming from different quarters, and police has deployed about 1,000 policemen to a very, very area. Tony, for a long time, we stopped hearing about suicide bombing, and we thought we had contained that. And all of a sudden, this slipped off our watchful eyes. A suicide bomber finding his or her way into a mosque, detonating IED, and so many persons lost their lives on a Christmas Eve night. Tony, so what are we missing here? Are we in for another round of suicide bombing as we witnessed on time in Borno State?
I think it's very disappointing, very appalling that we saw something that we used to see before. So it is disturbing, very disturbing if you ask me, when we thought that we have gone beyond these kind of barbaric attacks. They have changed tactics, they have moved into kidnapping for ransom, attacking communities in droves, and other ways they have shifted their approach, but they have resorted to the one they started with. And if you look at the very place, I think the mosque where it happened is located in the Gamboru market, and it's also known as Gamboru. I think the Gamboru is a very commercial hub near the customs district, and the mosque has been identified in reports as the Al Adum Jumat Mosque. So I remember that, just like you said, it happened on the Christmas Eve. 5 persons died, about 35 persons were injured in the process. And if you look at the time the explosion happened, it happened in the evening. Some reports have it that it happened around between 6 to 6:15 p.m. We are during the prayers. But just like we've said, police has made its own prayer reports. Suicide bomber who had gone there with improvised explosive device, detonated that, and that was why it happened. And how come that this person carried this IED? No detection, nobody was able to either check movements, even with increased security presence around that area. would I say that we are somehow loose guiding, or we are not as vigilant as expected, or we have taken off our mind from the fact that they do this kind of thing, these Boko Haram terrorists? No group has taken responsibility as we speak. This issue of suicide bombing, when we are growing up, we hear things like this in Syria, we hear in most of these, would I say, Arab nations, Sudan and all that. That's where we hear some of these things. And I do argue then that a typical Nigerian would not even do that kind of thing because he would not like to waste his life. But before you know it, it's just a question of time. Things we never thought would come into this country is already with us. So Borno has been a hotbed of things of attacks like this, and it's really disturbing when we pray that security men and women have been doing so much to ensure security, and with this happening, what deduction are you going to make? Would you call this one a setback? The concern should be to look out for these soft spots, because these are areas these terrorists are looking out for. Why Christmas Eve? Why? So that's to tell you each of religious persecution, though it happened in a mosque or around the mosque. But why Christmas Eve? It connotes a lot of things for me. It does. So the security operatives in Borno State and other parts of the country, not just Borno State, because we know very well that both Yobe, Adamawa, and some other parts of the north have been their hot beds for things like this, for the attacks like this.
So, what is somely, or worrying is the fact that this happened in Maiduguri. If you're going to look into the archives, look at the history of bombings in Borno State. Most of the bombings, the use of a suicide bombing, used to happen, outside the Maiduguri metropolis. Sometimes you get to hear Gambulungala, what have you not, but this time around, this happened in Maiduguri, the capital of Borno State. I can recall a friend of mine who used to do humanitarian work in Borno State then. At the peak of suicide bombing, I kept asking him, why are you still in Maiduguri? And he kept explaining to me that for those of them living in Maiduguri, they felt, safer in comparison to those who were living outside Maiduguri. But this time around, this suicide bomber was able to infiltrate a mosque in Maiduguri and was able to unleash this very mayhem. Does that suggest that somehow we have lowered our guards, even at the time when there were signs that these things could happen? Because by the time these terrorists began to go to schools to kidnap school children, we were thinking that governments and all those concerned should have, improved surveillance in some areas and also improve on protective or proactive measures to ensure that things of this nature wouldn't have slipped off our watchful eyes.
For money, we have been losing guards. There's no doubt. We have been losing guards because look at this attack that happened on Christmas Eve, 24th December. The last we had in that state was sometime around July 31st, 2024. Even I think that wasn't the last. But the one of July 31st, 2024 was somewhere around Konduga area of Borno State, a marketplace in Kauri. There was another one in 2025. I think it was an ambush on troops somewhere around Sabongeri village, still in Borno State. But if you look around May 12 or 13 or thereabout, there was this ISWAP assault on military bases and towns in New Mate Dikwa and Ran in Borno State, because these are areas that are very popular in Borno State. Ran area, Dikwa area, Mate area. There was ISWAP assault on military bases. It happened this year. So if you look around, you find out that there have been attacks, series of attacks as far as Borno State is concerned. Even this year, there was suicide bombing at a fish market in Konduga sometime around June. Suicide bombing in 2025. So these attacks, they have been coming from time to time, but sometimes they may not wear the headlines. So both bombing attacks. We have got many of them in 2025 in Borno State. We've seen ambush. There was another ambush in Gamdu sometime around October, if I can recall. So I don't want to talk about the December 24, 2025, the one that happened yesterday. So it tells you that Borno State is still not as we would want it to be. There are things going on there. Even farmers there have been groaning. I remember there was attacks on farmers in the Domban region sometime around mid-January 2025 in the same Borno State. So it is very disturbing. Upon all the effort being put together, being deployed to Borno State to safeguard that very state, we've seen these attacks coming from time to time. So it's quite appalling, very disturbing, concerning as well. Zulum is not about talks. I know we have done one thing or the other, but we want to see results.
Okay, so Tony, let's leave this very matter and quickly delve into what Atiku Abubakar has said regarding the Supreme Court judgment on local government autonomy. And I'm just going to take an extra from what he said, because from what he's saying, he said by July next year is going to be 2 years since Supreme Court of Nigeria gave that very judgment that was supposed to give financial autonomy to local governments. But up to now, the level of implementation has been very abysmally poor, to the point that you cannot cite any state where local government has become financially independent. And I think we say that what we have seen so far is not a delay but a defiance by Mr. President. According to him, it's been a deliberate plot by the government of President President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, not to accede to the full enforcement of Supreme Court judgment. According to him, that he's trying to use this to get the obedience of governors in preparation for 2027 general election. Tony, is there substance in what he's saying, or he just playing the card of politics that we know that he can play at the time as an opposition?
He's just deploying politics and logic. For him, that's for Mr. President to still allow the accountant general to wire money to some local governments through state joint accounts, which the Supreme Court has abolished, and which Supreme Court has ordered that should not happen. There are more to such allowance.
Can the president stop the accountant general from giving local government money to the state? Does he have the power to do that?
I think he has no such constitutional power, because the constitution makes it very clear that we have consolidated revenue, and if you look at that, you have fact committee. Fact committee is the committee that allocates money, not even the accountant general. Accountant general is not the one that pays money into state account. No, it is a committee, fact committee, and this committee is made up of both accountant general of different states and that of the federation. They sit together and they see to it. They have their own positions. So it's the fact committee that allocates money. But situations where accountant generals of the different states who also make up the fact committee, they will insist that their local government funds will also be given. So if it becomes a matter of vote, they will vote that the funds for the local government be given to the local government, even when joint account is not also established. So if you look at it, we've seen the politics of the whole thing. What was the rush to ensure local government autonomy when we know the implementation would be a problem, and when we know we have constitutional bottlenecks and constitutional complexities surrounding the issue of local government autonomy? If the Supreme Court has given such verdict, have we amended our constitution to give more support to Supreme Court pronouncement? Because Supreme Court abolished joint account, but we still have that joint account in the constitution. Remember, whatever Supreme Court says is the constitution becomes their constitution, even if there is a provision Supreme Court inverted. The way they inverted it remains because they have the sole power of interpreting law. So whatever they interpret becomes their law. So even if that joint account is written with black and white, is written on black and white, and Supreme Court says there is no such thing like that, that is their law. So the point I'm trying to make is, we have seen provisions of the Constitution, especially Section 232, and where the Constitution says that pronouncement of the Supreme Court should be seen to have been.
So, do you agree, or are you agreeing with Atiku? Because from Atiku's point of view, he's saying that why the federal government seems to be lax towards ensuring that this financial autonomy for local government is implemented is the fact that he believes that he can give the governors, the leeway, give them the freedom to see how they can think around the whole Supreme Court judgment, so that he will still enjoy their loyalty as you're moving into 2027 general election.
I think Article is being political. There's no doubt. We know the constitutional bottleneck to this autonomy. The Constitution compounded everything. Yes, it was Mr. President that rushed and then got the judgment. He couldn't have withdrawn the. What do you think Atiku would have wanted Mr. President to do? To hold back local government funds? And you asked me, has he the power to hold back local government? And I said no. He has no such powers to hold back local government. The one of Fortune State he held back. Was it not what we are lambasting the Supreme Court for? Not delivering the right judgment. Though the Supreme Court did not say he has the right to withhold such. So he's Atiku just playing politics because he's playing opposition politics. There's no doubt.
So the best way to give life to this very Supreme Court judgment is to go to the Constitution, look at the contradictions,
exactly,
and deal with them.
That is just that. Or you can as well go back to the Supreme Court and then to look out for some specific statements. If Supreme Court gives the federal government power to withhold, so be it. So going by that judgment alone, it has so many bottlenecks, so many constitutional bottlenecks.
Okay, because I think the one Supreme Court was specific was where it said that any local government that is being run by a caretaker committee,
that one has been settled.
That one cannot get allocation.
That is, and then there is no local government in the country that is run by caretaker. So that one is one of the things that was presented before the Supreme Court, but I think he's not seeing that one anyway. He's not seeing that one, not seeing that issue of caretaker has been defeated. He's not seeing that. So the one he sees is the one about the local government funds. Do you want the federal government to hold back money meant for the local government when they don't have such power? It's good to play politics, there's no doubt, because 2026 is a season of politics.
Okay, so we're going to go to the for commercial now, but just to put it in your mind that ASU and the federal government, they have reached an agreement, or they have finalized discussions on the renegotiation of the 2009 agreement, with an understanding that the new deal is going to become effective by January next year. From what you understand, one of the agreement is that there's going to be about 30% increment in this, or rather 40% increment in the salaries of university lecturers, and that is by next year. Stay with us, we'll be right back to take your calls after this very commercial break.
Udala Radio 104.7 FM.
Quality bread, Wendy's bread, for your family breakfast. Wendy's bread, I'll pack it and they do yellow. Wendy's bread, mama, papa, they like Wendy's bread, kitchen and do. Wendy's bread, even children, they like Wendy's bread, Wendy's bread, Wendy's bread, you get the better tasty, we go sweet your belly. Wendy's bread, Wendy's
Wendy's bread, tasty bread. You can contact us on our official address, Second Business Park, Enugu Road, GRA, beside Onitsha, Anambra State. We also have another branch at St. Michael Plaza at Tandy Road. Also contact us on 070-1149-1571. Wendy's bread, your tasty bread.
Wendy's bread.
From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Anambra, The rhythm returns home this December 28th. Oka will breathe in rhythm and shine in gold. Lagos Jump Off 3.0, the homecoming edition, featuring Annie Dons Onyetaka, Iblis Jarek, Mr. Raw, Slow Dog, Charles Okocha, PB Ninja, Ivata, Diamond Okechi, Eaglet Davidson, Casey Kubana, MC Monica, Agwefi I Go Talk, Slim Sherry, Waga, Ejai Kwamba, Go2 Onitsha, Hype Man Extraordinary, Harry B, Hype AO Machine, DJ Fresh Omen, DJ Alonso, DJ Spin Daddy, DJ Factor, DJ Fabuloso, VVIP table 3 million naira, VIP table 2 million naira, regular table 1 million naira, cocktail table 300,000 naira, standalone or working guest 150,000 naira. For reservation and inquiries, do call 0913-484-4336 or +1970 258-0990. Lagos Jump Off 3.0, the homecoming, December 28th, Anambra State. This event is proudly packaged by CNN Entertainment. Be there.
Public notice. The governor of Anambra State, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, CFR, has set up an ESCO committee for the recovery of all government land at Otumoye Creek, Onitsha, in Onitsha South local government area of Anambra State. All persons purportedly laying claim to all those parcels or plots of land located at Otumoye Creek, Onitsha, are by this notice requested to submit the following documents to the office of the Commissioner for Lands. 1. Allocation letter. 2. Certificate of occupancy. 3. Building plan approval. And 4. Any other relevant documents conferring ownership of such plots of land to the individual. All documents are to be submitted in 2 sets within 14 working days from the date this notice was first published. No submission will be received or attended to after the expiration of the said 14 working days. Signed, Mrs. Nkiru Mokwe, Esquire, Permanent Secretary for Commissioner for Lands.
Ụbọchị dum jupụtara n'ọtụtụ ihe omume mana ego gị nọ nkịtị ebe ọ dị. Ọ bụrụkwanụ na nrụsi ọrụ ike dịka ị na-eme kwụsịlata n'oge a mee ka ego gị rọrụ gị ọrụ sonye n'amụma First Asset Money Market Fund na First Asset Dollar Fund ma nweghachita ihe dị mma jiri naanị $5,000 $100 wee malite ngwakpọ akara 0806-494-5838 ka ịmalite ịmụba ego gị ka anyị gbakọ akụnụba anyị ọnụ. Edebanyere aha First Asset Money Market Fund na First Asset Dollar Fund n'akwụkwọ ụlọ ọrụ Securities and Exchange Commission Nigeria. Biko gba akwụkwọ mgbazi oluso ya ma ebe ọbụla ị na-enwe obi abụọ kpọtụrụ onye investment advisor, stock broker, fund maọbụ portfolio manager, accountant, banker, solicitor maọbụ onye ọzọ ma ihe a na-akọ ka o duzie gị tupu ịmalite.
Christmas don set like concrete wey dem just pour. Udala Christmas raffle don land for Golibe Festival. Just 1,000 naira per ticket and you fit waka enter our studio make you shout your loved one's name live for radio.
I just want them to say I love am well. My baby, I love you, die.
You wan know how you go take be part of this? E dey simple. Just buy your ticket for Golibe Festival ground. Come our open studio and boom, your voice go dey fly enter everybody radio. Better things dey for ground where you fit win. 43-inch Hisense TV, refrigerator, aux fans and plenty goodie bags. No dollar. This Udala Christmas raffle draw dey happen on the 30th of December 2025. If you wan grab your ticket sharp, make you call 0803-350-4206. 0803-350-4206. This Christmas, buy for yourself, buy for your people, because Udala Christmas raffle, everybody gets something inside. Supported by Nolin Ventures Limited, Onitsha.
From the commercial city of Onitsha comes Udala Radio 104.7 FM. The voice of the region, where authentic news and entertainment meet. Udala Radio 104.7 FM. Seriously authentic.
You're listening to The Polity. Get involved now.
All right, so you are listening to the Polity on Udala Radio 104.7 FM. It's now 10:36 a.m. and we are bringing you a Christmas edition of the Polity. My name is Franklin and Chisom. I'm with Dr. Olisa Mbeki. Together, we are bringing you today's program. So we open the phone lines for you to join this very conversation, and we are going to offer you one window. By the time you are done making your contribution, take your time and make shout out to your family for this very Christmas. But don't come to give us a long list. We are emphasizing your family, who you can have opportunity for you to say hello to them as we celebrate Christmas. So let's get to the phone lines at 0803-221-6973 or 0803-827-6694. Good morning. Hello. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Your name?
Yes, my name is Honorable Ibenze Mayor Okutukume JP Okulola Ochendo Numwezeke. I would have known.
Okay.
Can I go on?
Yes, you can go on, sir.
Yes, first of all, I want to thank you people for all the good job you people have done for this peaceful. And I want to once more congratulate you people for the award you won. And I pray that God will still give us his energy and knowledge and wisdom to continue flying high in Jesus' name. Happy Christmas to all of you. Tony, I want to ask you. You said that much has been done in Borno State, but it is not enough yet. I want to ask you, you should have pinpointed some of what has been done in Borno State, because I knew quite well that the Nigerian government are not doing the needful as far as security in Nigeria or in any state is concerned. So please, I want you to give us a pic of what they have done. They have to send police in the churches and in the mosque, because a report was given by police that I will be burning the Christmas Eve. Now, this one has happened. We want preventive measure, not when things happen finish. You send police there. What are the police doing there? This is number one. Number two, I want to also ask the people of the nation to start warming up in 2027, because the presidency now are warming up very highly to see that he comes back. Now, we are celebrating Christmas. There's no light as I'm talking to you now. Many people in TV complain no road. Everything is very high. And I want the drivers and the car owners that they should not be high transportation. This is wickedness. I want to say shout out to my lovely wife. Beauty, quality, and my brother, Bartholomew, man.
All right.
Let me also
Okay.
shout out to Dick, the counselor.
Okay. So sorry.
They are doing great.
Sorry.
May God bless
Thank
my
you.
family and all the family of Udala Radio in Jesus' name.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Please, don't forget that we said one person. Your family precisely. Thank you. Good morning. Yes. Good morning. Your radio says on the high side. Your name? Your name is what? Okay. Chisom, do me this very favor. Just take some steps. Walk away from where the radio set is, so that we'll be able to have good conversation.
Okay, I've done that.
All right. Go on, Chisom, for show light.
Okay, I want to first of all thank you people for the kind analysis on radio. I've been trying to contact this station for a very long time, but more fell on me today. I was able to get this.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the award and other. So I want to comment on the Christmas. See, Christmas in Igbo land is something like you said. Because I don't see the reason why people will increase their fares. That transport will increase their fares and will keep pretend that they are celebrating fares. Not like that. Go to the other side of the world, the Muslim. Whenever they are celebrating Salah, everything will come down drastically so that other people will buy. So I want to agree with Tony on that. So secondly, I want to say a very happy Christmas to my uncle who is presenting Anambra constituency, Anambra State. I'm talking about Honorable Ilan. I want to say happy Christmas
Okay, thank you for joining us today on the show. Okay, let's see who we have next. 0803 Good morning. Hello, do we have anybody here? Hello?
Hello. Yeah, I'm George calling from Masaba.
Okay, go on, Mr. Josh.
Yeah.
Merry
good
Christmas.
morning to Mr. Speaker there on the Butuni with Mbeki.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Happy Christmas.
I wish you the best.
Yeah, you see, I would say that I was shocked when I heard that we now have the issue of suicide bomber again. Please, I'm begging the APC government. The year is almost coming to end. That is one of the worst things that we Nigerians don't need to hear about suicide bombing, because we know during the experience that we have during the time of Jonathan, that was the major threat in that 2015 election. So we don't want to go back. We don't want to go back to that stage anymore. If I thought that they are coming doing the guerrilla fighting, after fight they will escape and go back, fine and good. I believe that our army and our security personnel can contain them on that. But not just because I can recall during that time in Asaba here, we have a places that we normally go and watch for them. During the time of Udala, you have a very big screen TV, almost all the major cities in Delta State there. But I would say that particular incident careful on everything that I would say that project was just a waste of resources because of this single act of these people going to the crowd and what they see crowd, they will not come inside there and expose them bomb. So please, I'm just calling on Mr. President and his team. We know that they are not doing anything better since they came on board, but we don't want to go back and hear about this anymore again. So let them make sure that they have the intelligence right. Let the DSS do the work that we expected them to do, not to go and sue people that called Mr. President's name. This is the time for them to work very hard. Because I had the news this morning, are we going back to this strike bombing again? Please don't want to experience it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, George from Asaba. Thank you for dropping by. Good morning.
Thank you, Franklin. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Merry Christmas.
I wish you all the best. And Mr. Speaker Tony Mbeki, good morning.
You're welcome.
Yeah, this is Honorable Monday Johnson. The issue of suicide bombing that took place, I think, in Borno State. I think I'm right.
Yes.
It's actually the worst part of insecurity. That somebody will kill others and kill himself. Frankly, somebody called my attention last Sunday after the service that this young man came down from the north. He was walking out of the church. He sighted these people that sell reke, sugarcane, tiger nuts just at the front of our church gate. And the young man called me. He said, "Sir, I'm coming back from the north. And I want to tell you that this is not a good sight. The church authority should do something about it." That was the message the young man gave to me last Sunday. And most times when I walk around on Sundays, I see most of these people at the gate of churches selling all these things. And the young man told me that seeing this alone imposes security threat. I'm not mentioning name of anybody here or any tribe. I think, in as much we talk of insecurity in Nigeria today, it's no longer something of the northern part of the nation. It's everywhere now. And so if there is any measure, those who will be going for Christmas service, New Year's service, night vigil 31st, that will usher them into the 1st of January, if there is any measure people should put in place in their churches to make sure that what we are hearing this morning from somewhere is not repeated elsewhere, they should do it. Because we are talking of lives here. So, in as much I'm condemning what has happened yesterday in that mosque, I am also giving people this as an assignment to get themselves prepared to avert whatever that may be coming. Having said that, I must seize the opportunity actually to thank everyone listening to me this morning and say to all of us, Merry Christmas. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Monday Johnson. Thank you for calling. Good morning.
Comrade, Walton, I'm calling you from Onitsha.
Go on, comrade. Go on, comrade. Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much. You see the suicide bombing that happened in Medjugorje. I can tell you that the hand of the government is in it. And I'll tell you why. If you could recall, Donald Trump accused Nigerian government of sponsoring the killing of Christians. Nigerian government, their position has always been that both Christians and Muslims are being attacked. It has always been their position. They never admitted that the Christians are targeted in Nigeria. So what happened the last night was a kind of to tell America, you see, that Muslims have been attacked now. Now answer this question. What concerns Muslims with the Christmas celebration? When was the attack come on the eve of the Christmas that has to do with solely the Christians? So it is to draw their attention to the United States of America to their position that both Christians and Muslims are being attacked, and not that Christians are being targeted. This is just a script. Although it came in form of suicide bombing, I can tell you that even the person that committed that suicide bombing may not even know what was given to him or her to go inside that mosque. So it's a kind of, to whitewash, to project their, their position that not only Christians are being attacked, that both Christians and Muslims are attacked, and that is why it happened on the eve of Christmas. So you see the tactics now.
Okay.
So I can tell you that, can fully tell you that the government hand is to this particular attack. Then having said that, I want to thank everybody who is under the reach of my voice. I want to wish everybody Merry Christmas with special regards to Justice Ebuka, Ambassador Justice Ebuka, the chairman of Shooting Cable, and Ambassador Chisom, the chairman of Electrical Jailers International Organization. Good morning.
Okay. Good morning. Let's see who we have next here. Hello.
Yeah, good morning, Franklin.
Good morning. Merry Christmas to you.
And Dr. Olisa Mbeki, very good morning to you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Chidi Chukuma joining you from home.
Go on, sir.
Thank you for your analysis this morning. Yes, I really enjoyed that Christmas explanation from you. I hope that you will not, that you don't have such intention of becoming a Jew general over here, because you spoke like, just like a pastor here. Yes, that explanation is clear. And I want people who are trying to demonize Christmas that this thing is the greatest event that was celebrated in the Bible. You look at the Luke, you saw the coming down from the heaven, the heavenly hood, coming down to the earth to celebrate with the human being. Yeah, the song, that very song that the Savior had been born, was sung by the angels, not by human beings. That celebration, that means that the Christmas, we saw the wisdom here. And the meaning of Christmas is Christ. That two words here, Christ. Christ mass. Mass means celebration. So celebration of Christ, and not particularly the day he was born. Today is my birthday, and anybody that's trying to demonize the 25th December, I think that person is because that is the day my very self was born. And some people are talking of idol worship. You saw the wisdom there. Is there anything wrong with it? And now that the emperor has legalized it, is there anything wrong with it? And the side effect is what attracted even non-Christian, because we just like everybody is taking part in Christian celebration, both Christian and non-Christian. The side effect is very beautiful one. You saw a different event like crusade and seminars and the Christmas carol and so on, all fantastic. Decoration everywhere.
Okay, round up, please. Round up.
The weather and the beauty of decoration everywhere, the Christmas tree and the gift show of love. So Christ is the center of that celebration, and that is what is taking place today. You have to reach out to different people to impart on them, show love. That is what Christ is all about.
All right.
And for you, I congratulate you for the award. And that is just a beginning, because I know that you people are doing fantastic, and they also want the management to value all of you just as we value you people. And we're expecting more and more great award for you people. And thank God for everybody. I say happy Christmas to all of us.
All right.
Good morning.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chidichkum. Of course, we join others in celebrating you today since it's your birthday, so we are wishing you happy birthday. So it's double celebrations for you. From our Facebook page, Ugochukwu Frank says this is the work of Islamic extremist jihadist terrorists among the Northerners. Islamic extremism is one of the problems of the North. May the souls of those killed rest in peace, and those injured, I wish them quick recovery. And he says enough of the killings in the name of Allah. Chiskunwafo says Merry Christmas. Any person contesting or a sitting president shouldn't prevent genocide. Should desist from contesting the presidential election. I just want to assume that this is what you intended to write. Then Wisdom Peter, thank you for joining. Achinedu Stephen, thank you for wishing us a Merry Christmas. Of course, we're also wishing you back. And Udala Aloysius says, wishing you guys a Merry Christmas. May God continue to bless you guys for the good work you are doing. He posted from Umuaba and Nam. Thank you for following us. And Eke Gonas Madreke is saying, who is fooling who? Our government is just playing with the people. Muslim attack in the north on Christmas Eve to take away the face of Trump in Nigeria. Okay, so Tony, these are the reactions we have. Of course, we have a concern or a question that I would like us to address, which is what Omelola Nobi asked. What and what has been done in Borno State? He was asking in respect to the statement he made. And then Mother Johnson was talking about the need to beef up security in churches in the south because of what he said. Somebody who came back from the north told him. So let's respond to this before we get to close.
You know, when I said some strategic security approach or approaches has been taken in Borno State, and then we want to see results, you wouldn't say that because we know what these people were up to before now in Borno State, in that part of the country. And I know that over the time, at least from what we are told now, in Borno State, the federal government has given an order that anybody going into any church or mosque will be searched. Security operatives have been given that mandate. Search everyone going into church, mosques, or where people gather for any celebration. People coming in there will be searched. Once there is any form of, congregation of any side. So there have been security has been beefed up in that very part of the country. We've seen deployment, we've seen setting up of different bases, military base, police base, and all that, different tactical squad. See, these are things I assume that have been done, but I'm saying that we need results, very important. And then just like we're about to wrap up, I don't know the other question Monday Johnson asked.
No, he talked about the concern which was expressed by somebody. He said that came back from the north, and some people who were selling all this sugar cane and what have you, not around church areas, and he said this should not be condoned.
It should not be condoned. Just like I said, there has been a mandate now that everybody around church, going into mosques, any gathering in that area, people will be searched. There is no doubt. And then we must also let everyone know this. When my brother was talking about Christmas, the etymological meaning of Christmas is Christ Mass. The Mass, a Eucharistic celebration, which is known especially in Catholicism. That's the Mass, and then the Christ Mass or Christ of Mass or Mass of Christ. So that's just that. And then it was Pope Julius I that first instituted December 25th to be the celebration of Christmas. Pope Julius the first. So these are historical records. Just like I said earlier on, is a period of not just showing love and being in a very good fraternity with one another, but we must support the needy. And I also want to thank my friends, just like we ask people to express their thought to their friends, and then many of them, I can't even remember their names, Denko, and then my family, Obunda family generally. Merry Christmas to everyone. Merry Christmas to everyone.
Okay, Merry Christmas to every one of us. Of course, I can't mention the names of everybody, but I just know that, of course, we have in our hearts and our prayers that you get to have the best of Christmas. And before we get to leave, just to draw attention,
I also remember my mother-in-law. I know she listens to this very program. Merry Christmas to her as well.
Okay, mother-in-law, Merry Christmas. And perhaps to my mother-in-law too, Merry Christmas. Yeah. Okay.
And my mother as well.
All right. So before we get to let's bring this very information to your doorstep. We've been saying that, I know you've been hearing that, but just wants to reinforce it that Udala Radio is bringing you Christmas better joy. This one is coming to your doorstep. Talking about Christmas raffle draw, it don't land already, and with just 1,000 naira, you can win 42-inch television, a refrigerator, fans, plenty goodie bags, and many more sweet prizes. Just imagine that you just use 1,000 naira to purchase a raffle draw, and of course, boom, you get to win 43-inch television worth about 400,000 naira or 500,000 naira. Wouldn't that be a big celebration for you? So for you to get a ticket, what we have to do is to kindly look for us at Global Festival Ground, which is going to begin tomorrow, or you visit our office at number 5 Okono Street, DMJS Onitsha. There is a phone number you can also call if you want to buy a ticket. The phone number is 0803 350 4206. 0803 350 4206. This phone number can help you to get your ticket. It's a big raffle draw that is going to happen live on 30th December 2025 at Gulliver Festival Ground. This is not a matter of story. It's going to happen. That's not if they play the show. Okay? So, and if you buy your ticket for Gulliver Festival, that same ticket is going to give you free shout out on Udala Radio to your people during this very Christmas season. So if you want to surprise anybody, is it your babe, is it your father, is it your mother, is it your sister, any of your siblings or even neighbors, anybody want to surprise this very period, it's a time for you to do a Christmas shout out for them. So once you pay for that very raffle draw ticket, it can give you access for you to do it. Just 1,000 naira. So I do not know what you are waiting for. All you can do is for you to get a ticket now, sharp as it they hot, as it's still available. Okay. And one thing we're telling you that this Christmas, it go loud and it go sweet and it's going to be unforgettable. What is going to make it unforgettable is when you use chicken money to win better gifts. On that very note, too, thank you for listening. My name is Franklin and Ebuka. Good morning and Merry Christmas once more.
Udala Radio 104.7 FM.
When the city sleeps, the river